Welcome to Wisdom and Wealth, your channel for insightful perspectives on life, personal growth, and financial well-being. Many of you watching are navigating life's complexities, perhaps after 40, and seeking a deeper understanding of how to achieve both inner peace and external success. Today, we are going to explore a powerful lesson drawn from Buddhist philosophy and Zen teachings, one that can dramatically shift your relationships and your sense of self-worth. This lesson revolves around the often painful experience of unrequited affection and the transformative act of letting go. If this sounds like something you would be interested in learning more about, please like and subscribe to the channel. That way you will never miss any of my videos. Desire is the root of all suffering, as the Buddha taught. A mind filled with longing is perpetually seeking something that consistently eludes it. A heart attached to someone who withdraws slowly diminishes its own sense of dignity, drop by drop. The most profound pain arises not from the rejection itself, but from the internal resistance to that rejection, the clinging to what has already slipped away, in the spirit of Zen. It is a universal human experience to yearn for connection, for validation, for love. But when that yearning turns into a desperate pursuit of someone who does not reciprocate, it becomes a source of immense suffering. One must come to understand that true freedom lies not in the pursuit of external validation or approval, but in cultivating inner peace and stillness. To chase those who do not choose you is to abandon your own spirit and beg for acceptance in the vast desert of silence. Instead, we must learn to cultivate self-love, self-respect, and a deep sense of inner worth that is independent of anyone else's opinion or affection. This teaching will guide you on a profound journey through the suffering caused by clinging, the reflective mirror of karma, and the ultimate liberation that comes from the act of letting go. As we dive deeper into this wisdom, if you are finding these teachings helpful, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us reach more people with these valuable insights. The story will unfold through Zen parables, inner dialogues, and silent realizations. Each element contains a key, each sentence unlocks a door. Approach these teachings with an open heart and a willingness to examine your own attachments. By the end, you may find that you no longer feel the need to chase anyone, because you will have finally discovered yourself, your own inherent worth, and the unwavering peace that resides within. The first step in understanding this transformative teaching is to recognize the insidious nature of attachment, how it subtly creeps into our lives and clouds our judgment. Let's delve into this more now with the beginning of attachment. Once upon a time, a solitary man sat by a tranquil pond, observing the ripples that vanished as quickly as they appeared. As he watched the ephemeral nature of the ripples, he recalled the warm smile of someone who had once stood beside him, a smile that had brightened his days. However, that warmth was soon replaced by distance, silence, and disinterest. Yet, he found himself repeatedly returning to that pond, hoping to catch a glimpse of that smile reflected in the water once more. What began as simple affection gradually transformed into attachment, and what started as genuine connection evolved into desperate craving. This is a common pattern, isn't it? We often cling to memories, to moments of connection, even when the reality has shifted. Are these lessons resonating with you? If so, please consider subscribing to the Buddhist Doctrine channel for more enriching content. Each day, the man would think, maybe if I reach out again, they will remember. Maybe if I explain myself better, they will understand. Maybe if I give more, they will finally stay. But Zen does not operate in the realm of maybe. Zen resides in the present moment, in what truly is. And what was, in this case, was silence. In Buddhist understanding, clinging arises from illusion. We project our own needs and desires onto others, expecting them to carry the burden of our happiness like fragile water in cupped hands. When they inevitably let it slip, we feel betrayed, even though it was never their responsibility to hold in the first place. Attachment is not the same thing as love, rather, it is a disguised form of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of not being good enough, fear of being forgotten. The man was not chasing a person, he was chasing a feeling, a fleeting moment, a cherished memory, a fragile hope. He transformed himself into a beggar of attention instead of a guardian of his own inner peace. He had lost sight of his own value, his own worth, and instead sought validation from someone who was no longer willing to give it. Let's consider the illusion of control. In another moment, the man dreamt that he held a delicate butterfly in his hands. It shimmered with all the colors he loved, captivating him with its beauty. Yet, the tighter he gripped it in an attempt to keep it safe, the more its wings bent and crumpled. Eventually, it lost its beauty and could no longer fly. He awoke with tears, realizing that the butterfly was never truly his to hold. It was meant to land gently, to grace his presence for a time, but not to remain captive. This dream was no accident. Zen often reveals profound truths through symbols that the conscious mind resists. Chasing those who withdraw only deepens the illusion that love can be controlled, possessed, or forced. The truth is that no soul can ever be compelled to stay where it does not wish to be. Love blossoms freely, or it does not blossom at all. In Buddhist wisdom, non-attachment is not the same as indifference. It is the deep understanding that everything in life is impermanent. Feelings change, people change, circumstances change. The path of life continues, whether others walk alongside you or not. To chase someone who does not desire you is to halt your own journey, to pause the growth of your soul. It is to remain fixated on what has already turned away. Now, halfway through our discussion, if you are resonating with these insights and finding them valuable, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the Wisdom and Wealth channel. Your support empowers us to create more content that helps you live a more fulfilling life. The man slowly began to realize this. One day, instead of texting again, calling again, or attempting to explain himself again, he simply stopped. He allowed the urge to rise within him, and then he watched it pass, like a cloud drifting across the vast sky. It had no permanent place to stay. This leads us to consider the karma of pursuit. Karma does not punish, karma reflects. Each time we disregard our own worth and chase after rejection, we create more suffering for ourselves. Not because we are inherently bad, but because we are unaware of our true value. To offer love where it is not welcomed is like planting precious seeds on barren stone. The man recalled a time when a small bird had approached him, unafraid. He had gently fed it, and it had stayed with him for a while before flying off. He had smiled, feeling grateful for its presence, and he had not chased after it or attempted to trap it in a cage. He had simply watched it soar into the sky and whispered, "Thank you." Yet, when it came to people, he found it much harder to let go so easily. Why? Because ego had stepped in. Ego whispered, "You are being ignored because you are not enough. Chase them and prove otherwise." But the path of Zen cuts through the ego like a silent sword. Zen teaches, let things fall where they may. You are not incomplete because someone chooses to walk away. You are only incomplete when you abandon your own presence. The man began to see that each unanswered message, each closed door, was actually a blessing disguised as pain. Not everyone is destined to walk beside you on your path. Some individuals teach you through their presence, while others teach you through their absence. Both are valuable teachers. Silence is a potent form of self-respect. As a wise monk once said, the way you treat yourself teaches others how to treat you. The man began to question what lesson he had been teaching by chasing. He had demonstrated that he placed others above himself, that his value depended on their response, and that his inner peace could be stolen by a single word or the lack thereof. Silence became his new companion. No more relentless explaining, no more pleading, no more waiting anxiously for a reply. He began to sit with the silence and truly listen. And in that listening, he began to hear the sound of his own soul slowly healing. One morning, he walked to the pond, not with a sense of desperate longing, but with a quiet sense of presence. The water was still, the birds were singing their melodies. He smiled, not because someone stood beside him, but simply because he did. To cease chasing those who do not desire you is not defeat, it is empowerment. It is reclaiming your soul from the hands of those who never asked to hold it. You are the one you seek. In Buddhism, the source of true peace is not external, it resides within you. The man began to find joy in his own rhythm. He wrote, he walked, he watched the sky change its colors, and he thanked it for its honesty. Each day, he showed up for himself, and something remarkable began to happen. The very person he had once chased returned. But now, he was different. He did not leap, he did not react, he did not surrender his inner peace for the illusion of approval. He smiled and bowed gently, but he did not chase again. The lesson had been learned. Sometimes, people return to test whether you will still abandon yourself for them. Do not let your stillness answer for you. This demonstrates the power of walking away. Zen is not about doing more, it is about doing less with greater awareness. To walk away is not weakness, it is profound wisdom. To stop chasing is not coldness, it is clarity. The man became his own companion, and he no longer looked outward in order to feel seen. His own presence was enough. He did not chase, he did not explain, and he did not seek validation. And in that newfound stillness, he began to attract not those who pitted him or those who toyed with him, but those who resonated with his inner peace. Because when you finally stop chasing, you create the space for truth to enter. Let this be your guiding principle: stop chasing those who withdraw, let them walk their own path, and you walk yours. Stop explaining yourself to those who have already stopped listening, silence speaks volumes. Stop trying to justify your worth to those who are incapable of seeing it, you were not born to beg. Stop planting seeds of love in hearts that are closed like fists, seek fertile soil. Stop losing yourself for those who barely noticed your presence, you are a universe, not a mere shadow. In Buddhist truth, suffering ceases not by forcing things to stay, but by releasing your grip. You do not need to win love, you only need to stop chasing what has already let you go. Returning to himself, the man by the pond no longer gazes into the water seeking the reflection of another. He sees his own calm, whole, and unshaken self. He bows, not to a person, but to the lesson. Let go. Be free. Chase no one, because true love never needs to be chased. It stays. It shows up. It reflects the love you give. And if someone chooses to turn away, bless them, but do not follow. Bow once and continue on your path. With every step you take away from those who do not want you, you move closer to those who will. And most importantly, you journey closer to your true self. And that, in the way of Zen, is the only journey worth embarking on. Let go, and return to yourself. To chase someone who turns away is like pouring water into a broken bowl. No matter how much effort flows from your hands, nothing remains. In the teachings of Zen and Buddhism, this lesson is not delivered in harshness, but in clarity, a clarity that reveals the truth your heart already knows but your mind stubbornly refuses to accept. This is the ultimate release. So, as we come to a close, allow me to personally thank you for joining me on this journey of learning, and if you found any value in what we've talked about today, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more content. Let's now walk slowly through a reflection of what this teaching offers. First, chasing is a form of self-abandonment. To run after those who turn their back is to run away from your own soul. When one chases what flees, they declare, "My peace does not matter, only their attention gives me worth." But Zen asks, who were you before they came? Who are you without them? This reflection uncovers something difficult yet beautiful: you were always enough. Peace, love, and joy were never dependent on who stays or leaves. They only appear hidden because your eyes fixate on someone else's path instead of your own. You do not need to follow to be fulfilled. You only need to return inward to the sacred place where your breath, your silence, and your stillness live. Second, desire creates illusion, not connection. In Buddhist understanding, attachment distorts vision. You do not see the person as they truly are, you see what you hope they will become. You ignore their indifference, their distance, their silence, and instead, remember a smile from long ago, a feeling from the beginning. You turn that one moment into a story you chase endlessly, but that story is no longer real. You are not in love with them, you are in love with the version of them who no longer exists. When you finally stop chasing, the illusion begins to fade. It may hurt at first, but with pain comes clarity, with clarity comes healing, and with healing comes freedom. Third, being unwanted is not a reflection of your worth. Too often, rejection leads to self-doubt. What is wrong with me? Why didn't they stay? What did I lack? But in truth, rejection is not a mirror reflecting your flaws, it is a revelation of mismatch. You are not for everyone, and everyone is not for you. To continue chasing someone who does not want you is like knocking on a door that has already been closed from the inside. No amount of effort will open it because love is not something you earn, it is something that flows naturally without force. Let this reflection bring you peace. Their inability to see your value does not make you less valuable, it only means they are not the ones meant to walk with you. Release them, and in releasing them, you return to your own wholeness. Fourth, silence is the beginning of inner power. Chasing creates noise, questions, fears, overthinking, explanations, regrets. All these swirl inside the mind like storm clouds, hiding your wisdom. But when you stop chasing, a silence begins, and in that silence, your mind becomes like still water. It is in silence that you hear the voice of your true self. You hear it say, "You deserve love that comes freely." You are allowed to walk away from those who confuse you. Your energy is sacred, protect it. Silence is not emptiness, it is sacred space. It holds answers that are louder than words. Fifth, stopping the chase allows the right connections to find you. As long as you run after what doesn't want you, your arms remain too full to receive what does. You block what is meant for you by holding too tightly to what is not. Zen teaches that when the hand releases, it can finally receive. Let go of the person who shows no effort, stop chasing the one who only comes when you call, and detach from the illusion that love must be pursued and convinced. Once you stop, the universe begins its quiet work. Those who align with your peace begin to approach, and even if no one comes immediately, you find something far more lasting. Your own company becomes enough. Sixth, choosing yourself is the most sacred act. Each time you walk away from someone who ignores you, you walk towards the self who honors you. This is not pride, it is sacred self-respect. Choosing yourself is the deepest practice of self-love. You are not cold for no longer reaching out, you are not unkind for refusing to explain your worth, and you are not bitter for letting go. You are simply awakening to your value, awakening to your peace, and awakening to the truth. You do not chase what runs, you attract what resonates. Seventh, compassion doesn't mean clinging. You can love someone and still walk away, you can forgive someone and still not invite them back. Buddhist compassion begins with non-attachment. It says, "I release you in kindness, even if you do not return. I do not hate you for not choosing me, but I will not betray myself to keep you near." This is the highest form of love, love without dependency. Letting go is not an act of rejection, it is an act of sacred detachment, a way of saying, "I free you, and I free me." Eighth, when you heal, you attract differently. The one who chases acts from a wound, the one who stops chasing begins to heal, and the one who heals glows. You will notice a quiet shift. You stop tolerating half-love, you stop giving explanations, and you stop proving your worth. You become calm, rooted, and unshakable. And from this place, you begin to attract different people, not those who leave you guessing, but those who bring peace. You realize love doesn't chase, love stays, love listens, and love returns. Until that arrives, let peace be your partner. Stay with yourself when others leave, stay with yourself when silence answers your messages, and stay with yourself when love feels distant. Because in the end, you are not here to convince others to choose you, you are here to remember that you were never less because someone walked away. Let them walk, bow to the lesson, close the door, then turn and walk in the direction of your own soul. Because the one who no longer chases is the one who has finally arrived. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Just click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell, so you never miss an update. Also, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see next. See you in the next video.